Good morning, Nina. Greetings to everybody from beautiful Budapest. I am Zoltan Buzady. My field of interest and expertise is educating adults and future managers to become great leaders. And I do this for 25 years now. I will give you 3 or 4 different segments of answers. So the first catchword which you have caught is the question is skills. I really like this perspective, because according to the leadership philosophy which I am spreading, it is linked to the concept of flow, which is a psychological concept from positive psychology. Skills are the basis to achieve a feeling in a mental state and output which are optimal. And creativity, people can only achieve if they know the activity they have to do, what skills they have. These 2 things have to match. So becoming aware of skills, your own skills, and developing your skills is a great way to become a future leader. The classical universities, where I am also teaching now at the State University of Economics, called Corvinus University of Budapest here in Hungary, or before that at the Central European University, also located here, we used to have big lectures. We used to have a clever professor explaining how leadership be happening. It was driven by textbooks and stories from the past. And unfortunately or fortunately, universities still maintain the quality of what is known. So most students, when they're young, they have to go through this process of going to a university for, say, 3 years, a bachelor, which I would recommend, and they learn really like in the old style, the basics. But increasingly, even at undergraduate level, but certainly for masters and leadership developments, which I do, we have to add lots of what we would call experimental or experiential learning. Experimental, I mean, we are developing leaders by making little games, exercises, role plays, which happen there. And experiential means that they are trying out the new concepts, the new ideas they gain from each other or from the teacher, or which they develop together in this classroom. They experiment with this at their own working places. So the learning loop becomes very different. It is not that you have a book, you learn about this, and then there's an exam, and you check it at the exam. But there are small little loops repeating each other. And therefore, the learning rhythms becomes very different. Sometimes the learning can become very short. You learn a certain segment, a certain skill, or sometimes you are having a degree program in leadership, which takes a longer period. So this is my second answer, that after identifying skills, the loops of getting those awareness for the skills is changing. Getting feedback about your skills is the key point for each of these loops. So instead of having this final exam, we also test, or we give feedback. We do test and we give feedback at the same time when people are developing the leadership skills nowadays. I personally use internet and digital technology a lot. Fortunately, here in Hungary, I have met a company which has developed an outstanding, sensational, global award-winning leadership development game in which people are managing individually as interim CEOs, a company located in California, a wine company, and all sorts of problems happen. But whilst you take the decisions, the system, the program gives you constant feedback on how you were as a leader. And at the end, you get a personality profile of your 29 leadership skills, which, by the way, you can see in the back of it. So the modern way of developing leaders is by combining theory, game elements, and simulation technique. It's here on the banner behind me that says learning, it says games here, and there it says simulation. So right in the middle is serious games. So my advice for people to develop their skills in the future is to look out for serious games solutions in this field. The third answer I want to give you briefly about adults and actually senior people. I have not seen many senior people in Hungarian universities, neither of the institution I've been at, But I can recall 25 years ago when I started to study law in London, I had a senior partner, a program classmate, and I was really surprised and impressed by this. So I wish for the people in Europe and also in Central Europe where we live that they are re-engaging and re-enrolling to universities, because very often they didn't study actually, and now the law makes it still possible that they can get their first degree from the state for free. So why not take on that challenge and enjoy life